we basically did the pod.
It's over.
It's over.
We're wrapping up.
We're wrapped right now. This is the ending. Or brought over some incredible pastries, which explained some of the stuff that you brought over as well.
Yeah.
And we had a whole conversation.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna have another conversation.
Now we're here. Yeah. So I mean, first we brought bread. I brought bread over. Some,
it would be rude not to.
Absolutely. Fresh baked sourdough. Our country loaf. Got a scone, a blueberry scone, which is probably one of our customer favorites. One of my favorites, which is our morning bun, tossed in vanilla sugar.
That's so good.
Then we had oat poppy cookie. That's awesome. It's ginger, oats, poppy seeds, almond flour. It's kind of like baked like a tuile, almost like really thin and crispy.
Yeah.
And a pear Danish.
We had a scone. Did you say the scone
I said
already?
the scone, but we also had a pear Danish with some pastry cream. Around this time, we like to do pear Danishes. We roast the pear in brown sugar and cinnamon and vanilla, and then on the bottom of the Danish, there's a pastry cream that we make, and it's just a really nice, like wintry snack.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Talk about the butter.
So the butter, I'm gonna have to.
You came in hot. You were like, no, this is the butter.
Yeah. So I'll plug them. It's Pepe Sea. It's like a newer brand. I mean, newer for me at least, that I discovered recently. I discovered at the baking expo in Vegas a few months ago. I mean, it's this awesome team, and they are making amazing cultured butter. It's Amish butter. And it just reminded me so much of the butter that we made when we first started at Lodge. When we first opened, we were making all the butter for the cafe, and the butter was amazing. It was really great. We let it inoculate, and we let it sit out for 3 to 4 days, and it was like a funky, almost like a cheese. And it just became too much. Like, we had so much going on in the cafes, we just couldn't keep it up. We had 2 locations.
Like it was a business decision. Like it just wasn't. It wasn't viable to keep doing that.
It was a nightmare to keep doing it. We had to do it almost every day. Yeah. It was a mess every time. I mean, if you've ever like made it in large quantities, when you separate the whey from the solids, it just gets everywhere.
Yeah.
And it just takes forever. And it also, like, it was very costly for us. So
it was a great idea.
It was
a great idea.
I still do it at home sometimes. My wife hates it, but it was a business decision to get it from somewhere else. And now, that we found this company that we can start to bring it back for our customers to taste that same flavor of cultured butter. That there are some people that do it, but this is really what reminded me of what we did previously.
We're sprinting into the holidays right now. What are the holidays like for the Amsalam family?
We do Hanukkah, and our kids love it. I mean, it's 8 crazy nights. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of gifts. We make sufganiyot. I make latkes. It's also a good time for us to be together as a family and kind of really slow down a little bit, because work slows down. Like, we close early some days. Thanksgiving and all the holidays just kind of let everybody spend some time with family, which is nice, especially for us. I mean, 3 kids, and they're all super young, so it's a fun time. They're already asking about it. Like, what are we gonna get? What presents are we gonna get? it's like it's transactional for them.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, they're like,
they'll remember the quality time.
They're like, I want to spend time with you, but actually, what am I getting?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, when I came back from my trip the other day, I make a point to always come home with something. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's small or, I just like to have something that I can give them when I come home, because it's really hard for them when one of us leaves, that I have, and they already know. So I was calling my youngest, his name's Kobe, and I called him in the hotel room, and he's like, I'm like, how you doing? He goes, how about what you got for me? I'm like, what? Like, I'm calling to say hi. And I told him I got him a little stuffed animal, that like a sourdough loaf stuffed animal. I thought it was really cute. And he's like, he lost it. He's like, no, that's not what I wanted.
No, do better. He's
exactly.
like, be better, all right?
Exactly.
Come on,
I did
Dad.
my best. But when I came home, he was super happy about it. But Yeah, I mean, holidays is family time for us.
Yeah. Do you know this is not a Hanukkah related story, but do you know the comedian Sebastian Maniscalco?
No.
He's an Italian American comedian,
Okay.
and he marries a Jewish woman from the South, and he's talking about his first Passover.
Oh yeah.
And how she's like, hey, we're gonna go over the. He's like, yeah, let's go over the Passover. But he's always like, listen, Italians, Jews, we say same corporation, different division. He's like, there's the religion thing, but it's that's something else. But he's like, yeah, come over. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna read for 2 hours. He goes, 2 hours. He's like, he goes, I'm Italian. I need bread 15 seconds
Yeah,
after I hit the table.
it's tough. I mean, the Passover, my
I,
side of the
I always
family,
I always laugh having been to some Passovers and then
it's
some.
it can get real. I mean, my family, my side does a very like quick and easy version where
Yeah,
it's like 45 minutes. I mean, we're Moroccan, so like people lose their shit
yeah,
if there's
yeah,
no food. Like
yeah,
people get upset.
yeah.
But my wife's family, I love them, bless them. They do. It's like sometimes it's like 11 o'clock and we haven't eaten yet. I'm like, I'm like one of the kids like sneaking off to the side, like breaking off a piece of something and
Yeah, yeah.
and just like sneaking it. But it's yeah, they go hard.
Yeah,
So it just depends on the
of
family.
course, yeah, different culturally, everyone's a little bit different, but I just always laugh with that because he's like,
Yeah.
because I've been in that situation before, kind of going, what's going on here?
Yeah. What do we eat?
yeah, and he's like, listen, I could read for a few hours if I've got some meatballs and some bread on the table.
100%. And then on top of that, there's no bread in Passover, so it's like
Yes,
double.
exactly.
You hit twice.
Exactly.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's I always just have a good laugh about that. But
Absolutely.
we were talking earlier about this trip that you just
Yeah.
came from. You mentioned Vegas. You mentioned calling your kid. But talk specifically about this trip.
Sure.
Why you were there,
Yeah.
and we'll kind of go into some of the learnings from this because I think it's super interesting.
Yeah.
For us, but also a lot of our listeners.
For me too. This was my first time.
Yeah.
It's the Restaurant Finance and Development Conference,
Mhm.
and Arthur, my business partner, so I've known Arthur since we started Lodge for like the last 10 years. Our
Yeah.
wives worked together, and we were both in
Yeah, the wives.
restaurants.
I think I read the wives
Yeah,
were the
yeah.
one that made the
Yeah, they're like,
connection.
you do restaurants.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah,
should
yeah.
have a hang out, get some drinks. We hung out at Old Man Bar, and we just kind of like
Very cool.
shared stories while I was opening Lodge, and he was working for another group, and
Yeah.
and he was doing an opening of his own. But Arthur came on board a couple years ago, and he goes every year to this conference, and so this year he made it a point to tell me like I should come.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
should come and experience it. And I didn't think that it was going to be something that I enjoyed.
yeah.
A lot of sports coats. I was not the sports coat guy. It would look very weird on on me. But hearing industry leaders and finance people and M&A people and bankers and hearing them talk about not only the climate but what people look for and how people value
Mm,
restaurants and how people grow restaurants and operators with 3 or 4 locations versus operators with 300 like a Dave's Hot
yeah.
Chicken. It was just super inspiring and interesting and I mean it just kind of like reignited my thirst for growing this company and what we're doing. And I think it's very useful for anybody in the restaurant
Mm,
industry to go and even experience it once and hear what people have to say. Um, just because we are obviously the restaurant world is different. It is like an art. It's like it's a passion that people do, and there are so many different types
mhm.
of restaurants and fast casual, quick service, fine dining, but understanding the industry as a whole, and just kind of seeing that side of it is good for anybody,
Mhm.
even somebody with one restaurant, because it really can put things into perspective sometimes when we do get um, you know emotional about what we do, because it's true, we do.
Of course. Well,
It's
as we said,
our life's
it's
work.
tied to your identity in a lot
Absolutely.
in a lot of ways. I mean, I think there's good in that. It's when it becomes too much of your identity that it's like because then everything you're defensive about, you're like
Yeah.
it's an attack on me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, hold on. This is the business. That you have to separate the ego from the business and
100%.
and all of that. Otherwise, you're miserable.
Yeah, and
You
that was
know?
me for, 7 or 8 years, and only recently was I able to kind of step away from that a little bit
Yeah,
and see things from, like, a bird's eye view,
yeah,
um, but it's hard, and
yeah,
that's what leads to a lot of problems, I feel like, in our industry with,
yeah.
not only with mental health, stress, just all around.
Burnout. I
Yeah,
mean,
burnout,
burnout like
100%.
crazy.
Yeah, 100%. It's really tough, but it's good to be able to set those things aside for a second and look at what you're doing kind of like from a bird's eye view
Yeah,
holistically and seeing like, is this not only like something that I love doing, but is it also sustainable for me in my future
yeah,
and as I want to grow? Because everyone has different goals, right? And different aspirations, but you know, finding a way to execute what you personally want is the best,
yeah. Of course.
yeah.
And then individually, everyone has multiple facets of who they are. You're a
Hmm.
father.
Yeah,
You're a chef. You're a co-founder.
yeah,
You're a leader. I mean, and it's like figuring out how to balance all of those things and kind
sure.
of show up for all of those things is that, I think that's the real challenge.
It's super hard. I mean, my priorities obviously shifted when I started having kids. I mean, Lodge came first.
Hmm.
And obviously my professional career and life was first. My oldest son was born um, the year we opened Lodge,
Hmm.
roughly. And it was tough raising a child and not really being there.
Yeah.
Because even though we are a breakfast, lunch, bakery, cafe, I mean, my hours were 2 a.m.
Yeah.
to 7 or 8 p.m.
The bread's not going to make itself.
Yeah, and we were very bare bones. It was me, Alex, my co-founder,
Hmm.
and a few other people at that time, and so we did everything. And it was really hard for me as a father, knowing that I missed a lot of his early childhood, and
Hmm.
so I made, I have 3 kids now, so I made a decision when he was a couple years old to start to take a weekend day,
Mm.
like one weekend day, and I just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Um, because I was missing moments that I'll never get
Yeah,
back.
of course.
And I didn't want to continue doing that. And now, I've gotten to a point where I can take a full weekend. Because, I mean, obviously work doesn't stop, but their lives are based off of this 5-day week and a weekend because they're
Yeah.
at school most days. And so while I'm at work, they're at school or at
Those were the
preschool.
days.
Yeah, it was so simple, right?
It was Life was so easy.
What, summer vacation? What the fuck is that? Like,
We thought it was easy. We thought
yeah,
I'm sorry, we thought it was difficult then.
yeah,
Like, I mean, it's
absolutely.
just you're like your son, I didn't want the loaf of bread thing.
Yeah.
Like that was the most difficult part of his day.
100%. I mean, he's 3. That's a
It's a
huge
huge
letdown for him. It's a milestone. It's like traumatizing event. I got him a sourdough stuffed animal.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm after, we're 10 years in, and a couple years ago I made that decision. I have 3 kids. I have to be there for them. And
Yeah.
that's also how I made business decisions. Was I need to build something that is not only sustainable for me and my family, but also for the families that are involved. There are other people involved, and there's
100%.
other families that are involved. And so we made a huge shift in the company to do our best to accommodate work-life balance
Mm,
for everybody. And
mm,
I think that's not only benefited our teams, but it's also benefited us
mm,
and our company because
mhm.
people show up
Yeah,
when you have that balance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they obviously were talking about what we talked about earlier of like a culture within within a company and
Yeah.
how it is you get to a certain point where you actually have to start asking those questions like
Sure.
what do we represent and
Yeah.
all of those things. But yeah, it's you said something earlier. It was like, how can I expect someone to do something for me that I wouldn't do myself
Absolutely.
necessarily?
I think that's the number one thing that sometimes sometimes people lose sight of it, and that's okay. I mean, look, we operate with blinders half of the time, right? Like when we are starting a business, it's tunnel vision,
Yeah.
right? And you do whatever you can
It
to
kind of
make
has
it.
to be though,
Yeah,
in a lot of
absolutely,
ways,
100%.
because
Because
everything else is
resources are tight.
is a distraction.
Yeah, everything's a distraction. Resources are tight. There's a lot of pressure to make it succeed. But right now, where we're at, like we're able to see every aspect of the business, not only, you know, the trajectory, our growth plans, but like I'm very proud that we offer great benefits for our hourly staff.
Hmm.
If you ask a lot of operators in, our category, which is like fast casual, most hourlies are not getting paid vacation. They're not getting full health
Yeah.
coverage. They're not getting paternity leave and maternity leave. We have cell phone stipends. Our management team, we get them vehicles when they can't have one of their own. Like it's, if we want a sustainable, successful business that we can grow and continue to count on people, because as we grow, we have to rely on people to execute for us.
Yeah.
We have to treat them like
It's a people
we would like
business.
to be treated as well, right?
Hmm.
Because you know, when we think about it, sometimes you get so stuck in the bubble of the location, right? Like of that cafe that you have to see the whole picture.
Hmm.
Your staff has to come to work somehow. Some might struggle to come to work. Some might be
Yeah.
driving hours out of their way. So making things easier for them by providing them a means to get to work, you know, at least with our management team, and we do case by case basis for like some hourlies have other needs that we do our best to cater to everybody. But when you don't have anything, it's impossible to
Yeah.
maintain. And one of the biggest problems these days is maintaining staff. There's so much turnover, it's just
Yeah.
it's impossible. And we have some tenured staff that 9 years, 8 years, 7 years,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a point of pride for us. And for me too, like
Of
I
course.
know.
And I think it speaks volumes for when you go into companies or organizations and it's like, wow, this person's been here for 5, 6 years, 7 years,
Absolutely.
8 years. And it's like, okay, wow,
Yeah,
they're doing something right,
100%.
that
And
people want to stay.
I take, my father is a huge role model for me. And his business has been running for almost 40 years. And he has
Wow.
employees that have been with him for almost that long. I mean, and it's just about how you treat people.
Yeah.
Because in the end, we are all people. We're all humans. Like we all have needs, and work is, even if some of these employees are working 2 shifts, we have almost 100 employees now, and a lot of them do work doubles
Mm.
because it's a financial need to
Mhm.
support their family, making their life a little easier and relating and understanding and actually being a good manager. And that's, we quickly cycle out managers who don't have that shared value and don't understand that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. They don't fit within the
yeah,
culture.
absolutely. People need to have vacation.
Yeah.
How can you have an hourly that doesn't have a and to get paid vacation and have security? Because they're not going to take vacation if they can't get paid vacation.
Yeah.
They're not making salary. Their pay is strictly, depends on them being in the bakery.
Correct.
So if I don't offer paid vacation, how can they ever take a break?
Hmm.
And people burn out. It's a problem in our industry, and I
Yeah.
think that if it should change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like as a business owner, there's obviously there's a give and a get
Sure.
with that. Everything you're saying is amazing, but also like there's a financial give,
Yeah.
but there's also a get. And so as you and your partners looked at that business model, like ultimately, how did you decide? From a culture standpoint, it makes sense, but the numbers have to make sense as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, look, we make adjustments and we make sacrifices in other places. I didn't like, and again, most people do, but I didn't pay myself for the first like 4 years of running this business. I made under minimum salary, and that's all good because we had to make certain sacrifices. And now
Yeah.
now I can afford to pay myself and the management team, and we're healthy in that way. Um, but we cut in other places. It's not even a question
Yeah.
for me. Like when I open another location, I'm not going to say like, okay, this location is going to produce less revenue, so these guys can't take. We are a company, so when we open another location, we have to make sure that that location can support what our company culture is,
Mhm.
right? So uh making more responsible decisions, adjusting our pricing as needed, maybe, buying another lettuce or a different cheese or something that we could save a little bit on our
Sure.
food costs and not hit high food costs so that we can offer benefits for staff. Adjusting pricing as needed because inflation's real. We've seen
Yeah.
price increases from flour to olive oil to chocolate, which is insane. I mean, my bag of flour is more than doubled over the last 10 years. So
Yeah.
we have to make price changes.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's hard sometimes to pass that on to the customer because people are very emotional with the cost of food, and we still try to bring a value
Mhm.
while also being responsible. But our cinnamon roll is it's not $6 anymore. It's $12.
Yeah.
That's just the reality.
Yeah.
I still think it's a steal. It's the size of my son's head.
It's massive.
It's giant.
Yeah.
So we do other things to be more efficient.
Yeah.
We make our scheduling a little bit more efficient. We order a little bit better. We change vendors. We'll try and, make better deals on tea or paper
Sure.
goods or
Sure.
whatever it might be. But we really don't want to sacrifice. And I don't think we're being irresponsible with the benefits that we offer people because, you know, we only recently could afford to do and the full healthcare coverage. We were
Mhm.
offering 50%. So we
Mhm.
got there gradually.
Mhm.
Obviously it takes time.
Sure.
Um, but now I'm super proud to say that we do. And now we also have a healthy LA surcharge that we do because we have to offset it somehow
Yeah. Yeah.
so that we can
Yeah. I
afford
saw.
to.
I saw that yesterday.
Yeah. And listen, you can opt out
Yeah.
if you don't want to
Yeah.
do it. It's
It's
it is what it is, but
yeah.
nowadays most restaurants are doing it.
Yeah.
That offer healthcare and it's just another way for us to be able to offer that to
Yeah.
our staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Vegas
Yeah.
really quick in this restaurant association. You talked about the dialogue, obviously, around climate, around what's happening across the different facets of fast casual and fine dining and other things. Like, what was your biggest takeaway? What was like? What's the sentiment right now?
Yeah.
I know we're both like eternal optimists,
Yeah. I mean,
but which is like I'm always going to be. But what was some of the realness that was discussed?
I think that most people were kind of in the middle, not too optimistic about this year versus being, pessimistic. I think everybody kind of leaned into the middle ground, and it was a discussion that was had in one of the panels. People they asked generally like, how do you feel about the coming years? We saw after COVID, and they mentioned this a lot that the concepts that really stayed were more quick service and fast casual because it was less of you know, an experience that people could cut. It was more of like our restaurant as well during COVID, like we saw that it became more of like it was an everyday place that people
Hmm.
wouldn't want to sacrifice. It was,
Hmm.
bread and sandwiches. It
Hmm.
wasn't, that experience that you come once every few months to
Sure.
go and enjoy. I think though that the sentiment is that more concepts are coming that are a quick service, fast casual kind of blend, right? Because when people say quick service, you would think of fast food. So most companies don't really want to associate with fast food. You
Hmm.
have like big companies like Panera Bread that's really starting to focus on shifting their customer perspective and asking and being more active about finding out what their customer wants. And
Hmm.
their CEO spoke, and it was really cool to see you know their new campaign and I mean customer satisfaction I think is number one
Hmm.
too. Like
Hmm.
making sure the customer is happy is number one
Yeah.
across the board.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I think people overall were not sure. They weren't sure if they were, but I mean, I raised my hand with like, who's optimistic? I was
Yeah.
like one of the
Yeah.
few that raised their hand, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, who's this guy that's not wearing a sports coat?
Yeah.
Um, but I like to be optimistic, like you. It's
Yeah.
it's it's hard for me to continue if I'm not optimistic. I
Yeah.
struggled a lot in the early days with stress and, every Yelp review that was negative, and every time that somebody had a
You
bad
took it
bad experience,
personally though
it
as
was
well.
it was a fucking weight on my
Yeah,
chest, and I
yeah,
aged like these gray hairs are not like it's not just from like I wear a hat because I'm balding. Like
yeah,
it's it's really tough in the industry
yeah,
not to take it personal, especially when it's your baby,
yeah,
right? It feels like an attack on you.
yeah,
Um, and so I can't continue to be the best I can for my family, for my business, for my employees, for my partners if I'm going to be negative. I have to
yeah,
be positive. And I have to go in every day to work being positive
yeah.
because it's palpable. People feel it. It's like an energy thing, right? Like if I come in negative, I might as well not come into work. If I'm feeling
It
shitty
changes
and
the whole
negative,
room. So
absolutely.
the
Our
boss
customers,
rolls in and they're like that. Everybody might as well go home
yeah,
than that
if
day.
exactly, if I'm not smiling, greeting everybody with positivity and happiness, then they're not going to do the same.
Yeah,
They're going to be like, "Oh shit, what's happening?"
yeah,
And I also there's some times where I do have those moments and I'm like, "Shit, I can't come into work like this."
yeah,
I don't want I'll go sit in my office for a few hours and like
yeah,
cool down and figure out how to come
yeah.
back. But
What changed in you? And maybe you've already said it. It was the family, but like that you didn't those years of immense stress and honestly like probably mental health like
yeah,
stuff like what changed in you to go okay like I have to do better and I have to be better and maybe don't take everything so personally.
sure. About 3 years ago, my father had a massive stroke, and he operates and operated a lot under stress. And he did carry like the financial burden of the family, his family, my family, his siblings. Like he's got a huge family. He's 14. He's
Oof.
one of 14, and his business was always, there were ups and downs,
Sure.
and those really did affect him. And I
Mhm.
saw it as a child and I saw it as a young adult and even now more in my before his stroke, he really like he carried it
Mm.
really like all the stress. And I understand, it's a lot. It's a big financial burden. It's a lot of pressure. And I definitely think that his stroke was due a lot to stress.
Mm.
And so I don't want to end up in that position. Thank God he's still alive and with us, but he suffered a pretty massive stroke, and he's trying to recover, and he's getting through, and he's come a very long way. Um, but I see the stress that I lived through when we first opened, and I felt it on my body, like
Mm.
I could feel
Oh
the
yeah.
change. And now trying, don't get me wrong, like there are still moments of
And there's
stress,
always going to be.
but letting it go,
Yeah.
right? And disconnecting from the negative factors, because
Yeah.
people are always going to there's always going to be haters. You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
And I can't take it personally when people are upset.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. It's a new day of the internet world, right?
Yeah.
Like Yelp is huge. People are very, they disconnect, and I don't blame them, right? Like they disconnect the human from the restaurant, and so they allow themselves
Yeah.
to, you know, be very hypercritical
Yeah.
in on the internet versus like in person. Because in person, if you had a discussion with me, like we could figure it out.
Sure.
So people tend to they're conflict averse. They don't want to talk in person. They want to
Mhm.
go back home and they want to write something.
Mhm.
Um, but I just stopped letting it get me down. And
Mhm.
also like the financial swings. There were moments that we almost lost everything.
Yeah.
And if I let it sit on me as hard as I kind of like to let I, what's meant to be will be,
Yeah.
and if it's not meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. I'll move on and I'll rebuild.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's stressful because we have people that rely on us and we have
Of
families that do,
course.
and I do my best to relay that we care about their success, not only ours.
Mm.
Um, but personally, I try to leave it at work, right? Like when I come home, I don't like to bring my stresses home because my kids see it too. And like my wife even told me a few years ago, she's like, you have to change modes when you come home. The kids feel it. I feel it. Everybody feels it when you come home
That's real.
and you're
That's
living
real
through.
talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so that I really took some time, and like I did therapy, and it's just like mental health is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But that was the big shift, was that moment. And it was during COVID too. So like I was at the hospital with him while he was going through it, and they wouldn't even let me stay. And he was still going, he had to go through that alone. And so for me, it was a very, and I can only imagine what it was like for him, but for me,
of
it was
course.
such a traumatic moment that I was like,
Of course.
I don't want to have that happen to me, and then my son or daughter have to,
Yeah.
go through that as well.
What's your dad's name?
Mayor.
Mayor.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think in a lot of, I'm happy that he's
Yeah.
around, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's doing well.
Yeah.
But also, and I know it's difficult to look at it like this, but he gave you a gift
Yeah.
in a lot of ways,
100%.
as well, because you could head down that route and
Absolutely.
be in a really bad situation for your wife, for your kids,
Yeah.
for your family. So it's difficult that he went through that, but it is a gift in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And
for you to
he told me
change.
that too. And he said, you have to stop stressing, because that's what ended up being like what took him
Yeah.
past that point. Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking a little bit about family right now, and thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I think it was like a Jewish Journal article, which I actually have an article in the Jewish Journal.
I
I'm
love
not
it.
I'm not Jewish,
Hey,
but
it's all good.
but
No
but
worries.
it was about sorry, I'm taking up space there, but
That's all good.
I had a trip to Israel, and my friend Alad did an article on me, and a little bit of my experience there through the lens of what we do in food with
Yeah.
with On the Pass. But you said something like, bread's more than food. It's a symbol of connection, ritual, memory, family.
Sure.
Even if you could trace like a loaf or a pita or something back to an earliest memory, like what would
Sure.
that loaf or bread, like what would it look like?
It's for sure challah. And it's for sure like before dinner, ripping a piece of challah
Yeah.
and like getting the size. So there's this thing that my mom used to make that's and my whole family, like my aunts, everybody makes it. It's called madbucha. It's like a Moroccan tomato and pepper garlic like spread, like we call it a salad. It's not a salad. I don't know why we call it a salad. It's like a
Call it
dip.
whatever you want. It
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
But it's like a dip. And we eat it cold
Yeah.
with bread. But when it's made, the pot on the side has like the concentrated version of it, because it's like when it's reduced, like it sticks to the sides of the pots.
Mhm.
And as a kid, I used to love ripping off a piece of challah and just like getting all of the side, and just like that was I mean, I was a fatty, I loved food as a child, and that was my favorite thing to do on Friday when the food was cooking. I'd like go into the kitchen and just get my fix.
Yeah.
And like my mom would try to like put the pot in the sink. Like, no, don't put the pot in the sink. Let me hit that
You're like,
pot
"I need
first.
that.
Like,
I need
I
that."
need that. Yeah. I was
Do you still do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
of
still
course.
do it.
Does any one of your kids do that?
Not yet. They're
Okay.
still very picky eaters,
Yeah.
My oldest, he's autistic, and he's a very picky eater.
Mhm.
So he's not there yet. I'm working on it.
You're working on it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's a really it's a fun memory.
Yeah, that's a big memory for me.
Yeah. Yeah. There's I like thinking about kind of simplicity and restraint. There's like this quiet confidence that Lodge has. It feels
Yeah.
like you all know who you are, although
Yeah.
every once in a while, there's new things, and
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, but like the staples are obviously incredible, but nothing feels forced, yet it feels intentional. But as a creative, how do you personally balance the urge to innovate,
Yeah.
but also like with that discipline of like restraint and holding back?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, that in the beginning was like holding back. It was not really like we didn't do it. Like we just did whatever we wanted in the
Yeah,
beginning,
yeah,
right? Because it was just a small 900 square foot space. And we actually had, a pizza night that we would do every Sunday. And it was like a cult favorite. And we would just make one pizza and
yeah.
we would buy farmers market ingredients. And we would decide that day what the pizza was. And we would just sell that type. There was no modifications, no
Mm,
nothing. And that was a way for us to still, flex that creative
mm,
muscle.
mm.
But now, you know, also as, an entrepreneur, like in the business side, I have to do what's responsible. And we find that people really, they come back for simple and good quality.
Yeah,
So if we can execute simple well, people come back. Our
yeah,
breakfast sandwich, we've never changed it.
yeah.
Never
Don't
in
please.
10 years. And it's the number one selling item on the menu because it's so simple. But
Yeah,
the things that make it better are the ingredients that we use, the
sure.
Newski bacon, the Tillamook cheddar,
Yeah,
the eggs that we buy, the
yeah.
bun that we use. It's just, it makes
It's
it,
like a brioche,
yeah,
or
it's
yeah,
our brioche.
yeah,
That's really what makes people come back because
yeah,
they want simple, they want consistent,
yeah,
and we've done it. We've tried
yeah.
new items. Some will stay and some don't make it just because people like the classics.
I come back for the fat pita.
The fat pita was that was a mistake.
Okay,
That
so
was like
tell us about that.
so we made pita and we had hummus and pita on the menu. And we didn't do a sandwich because it was just at Culver, it's just out of a wood oven. We have a wood
Yeah,
oven and a couple panini presses and a toaster. That's all we have. So I never thought of making a sandwich. That being said, one day one of our line cooks, I was on the line with him. He was like, "What should I get for lunch? I'm kind of bored. I've been eating the same." I was like, "I got you." Like we had a cauliflower dish on the menu and
mm,
we had a hummus dish on the menu. So I was like, I'll make you something. I roasted cauliflower. I tossed it in chermoula. I roasted the cherry tomatoes. I added the pickled raisins, and then I added lettuce to it. And I stuffed it in a pita, and I gave it to him. And we have a very open kitchen, and a customer was standing there. She's like, "Well, what is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a staff." She's like, "I want that. Make that for me." And so I made that. I made it for her, and then like four other people ordered it
yeah.
that day, and I was like, "Okay, great. Well, we got to put it on the menu and call it the fat pita." And it just never, like, we never took it off, and it's been one of the staples for sure.
Yeah.
And it's fun because that allows us to skew a little Middle Eastern because we have shakshuka on the menu, we have hummus on the menu at Culver City. We sell hummus in our retail case.
Hmm.
Culver City is the only location right now that makes pita. We're going to open Pasadena in probably end of 26, like around August.
Hmm.
That will have pita as well. So, we keep it simple, but we still do have some variations of, the
Sure.
classics. Yeah.
Sure. It's a cool story that's
Yeah.
how
It was
sometimes there's magic in,
exactly.
in those little moments. But it reminds me of a conversation that I had we just released recently an episode with Edward Jatruc, who is one of the chefs of Disfrutar, which won the #1 restaurant in the world
Amazing.
last year. It's a 3 Michelin star. I just ate there. It's in
Unreal.
Barcelona. But he talked about, and it's very creative cooking, obviously. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
but he talked about the need to have a dialogue with the guest,
Sure.
and how when they thought about, they came from El Bulli, like worked for Ferran, #1 restaurant in the world, back in the day. They're doing very, very creative cooking, but he's like, I need to be able to have a dialogue and understand like what they think and what they
Yeah.
want, and also what my team and my staff wants. And so when you sit down at their restaurant for a 3.5 to 4 hour tasting menu, there's actually a beautiful sheet of paper that is words in like a sphere of what some of their top guests feel, their emotions, what they
Yeah.
feel, what they taste, and then what the team. And so it's this interesting collaboration. Yes, they want to get their ideas out, but they're like, we don't always have good ideas. And so we need to hear from our guests. So I love that was a collaboration.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I'm not the smartest person in the room. I'm not the best cook in the room. And I think that a lot of people struggle hiring people or working people that are smarter or better than them. Like, for me, it's a pleasure to be able to hire people that are smarter or better cooks than me, or
Yeah.
have other experience. Like, I have limited experience. This is my I put out what I know,
Yeah.
right? So if I can bounce ideas off of other people or learn from other people, great. I learn every day. Like, what's the point of continuing if you know everything?
Yeah.
And so I think that the most successful people are able to learn from their peers and from their employees and from their customers.
100%.
You know, like, we're opening a concept in Pasadena. It's like a relaunch of our pizza concept that we opened in during COVID that didn't succeed. It's foolproof pizza, but we're reimagining the concept. It's going to be full service, still, still our style, not, definitely not like a fine dining experience, but more of a full service experience with cocktails. But I spent the last couple months developing our pasta dough with our chef Josh, who, together we came up with a great, I think, like, marriage of two different mindsets. Because my mindset as a baker is like, I want to use cool grains, right?
Yeah.
So I pulled out einkorn for our pasta dough, and Josh loved that, but he had never worked with that before. But he brought his side to it, and together we made a great pasta dough. And so without that, we wouldn't be able to. And that's what I tell people all the time. Lodge bread is Lodge bread. It doesn't say Or's bread. It's not my bread. This is Lodge Bread Company. So if there's a decision that needs to be made that's better for Lodge Bread Company, absolutely.
Yeah.
We remove things sometimes that I like. Like, we had an almond butter toast on the menu for years, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite
Sounds good.
things. It was great.
Yeah.
Nobody bought it.
Okay. So yeah, we got to get rid
rid of it. I'll eat it at home. Like,
just make it at home.
yeah. I mean, we had a fish plate that we had for years. And then when I brought Arthur on board,
Sounds good too.
it was delicious. We made it with our rye. We had smoked salmon. We had trout.
Yeah, do it at
brought
home.
Arthur on board.
Do
He's
it
like,
at home.
60% food cost is not fucking a thing. So
Arthur's like, or we're getting rid of that.
So we changed it to a salmon toast that was more doable. But we have to be able to take advice or take guidance from other people, or else it's just going to be like, okay, I'll open a restaurant in my house and I'll just serve my family. They hate my food anyway. So it's okay.
They're not happy with the gifts that you give them.
They don't like the food.
They're not happy anyway. So
my wife likes the food.
You go. All right, you have one fan. You have one fan at home.
It's funny because she's going to laugh when I say this, but I was blessed with the wife that has the most, like, I can't even understand how her palate works. Like, she can taste every ingredient in a dish. I don't even get it. I don't have never, and I've cooked for a long time, and I've
like
eaten
a beautiful mind.
Yeah, and she'll eat something. She's like, "Did you what did you put in here?" I'm like, what are you talking about? And she like can pinpoint it. So it's a blessing and a curse.
That's yeah. Oh, because then she'll like, I think you put a little too much of
she's definitely my biggest
coriander
critic.
in this one.
But
that's funny.
We have to be able to take advice, and we have to be able to do it openly, or else there's no growth. And without growth, how can you that is
you can't succeed.
You're just gonna be a wall.
Being as we're all being humble here right now, has there been a moment where you walked into like another bakery or a restaurant, tasted something and you thought, damn, I like,
absolutely,
I wish I created this
all the
time. Why didn't I think of that?
Sorry. Yeah, all the time. I mean, that's what this is, right? Like, we didn't just develop bread and pastries. Like, nobody that's our peers right now trademarked
no one's
their
around
recipe.
anymore.
Yeah, like those people are long gone. Absolutely. Like, I'll eat at local bakery, and people ask me too. They're like, why do you bring pastries from other places? It's not necessarily to like take from them, but it's to see what other people are doing. It's really interesting for me because I can't operate out of a bubble.
Yeah. What was it? Is there a pastry, or it's even a dish?
Most recently, Clemence at Petite Grain Boulangerie, she blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I ate her pastries and I felt like a kid again.
Yeah.
It was so great. And she works very hard, and I'm very much like, I'm so happy for their success, and
Yeah.
I only wish more success to them. We're all in this together. Like,
Yeah.
granted, yes, we are competitors in the industry, but like, who cares? There's so much room. There's so many people.
Yeah.
I don't care if one of my customers says that their croissant is better. It is better. I
Yeah.
love her croissant.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a way to shit on my croissants. Like, I love what we do. It's
Yeah.
different. It's unique.
Yeah.
We make sourdough croissants, but she really mastered what she's doing. And
It's incredible.
she's really pumping out some amazing product.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring.
Yeah.
You know, and going to other restaurants and seeing what other people are doing and enjoying, or, you know, not either way, like, it's good experiences. And like,
Yeah.
obviously not everybody has to enjoy everything.
Yeah.
And it's the same for our restaurant, but you know, it's great to see what else is out there. It's great to see what other people are doing. I can't, you know, I don't get to eat out as much as I'd like, obviously, because I you know, I have the business and I have the
Family.
family,
Yeah.
but you know, I do my best. But yeah, it's always good to see what's
Yeah.
out there.
No, but that's a good shout out. Yeah.
Yeah.
What she's doing. I mean, it's
amazing.
It's crazy.
I think I
Yeah.
ate like 3 croissants.
Yeah.
Just touring it, she gave me a.
I've done that.
Yeah, she gave me a chocolate croissant, and I try to watch it when I eat. I'm you know,
Yeah.
I'm not the lightest on my feet, but she gave me a chocolate croissant.
None of us are anymore.
as we toured. And I don't even remember eating it. It's just like, I remember the flavor. I was like, how the fuck did I just eat that whole croissant?
Yeah. You just inhaled it.
And then I brought the pastries back, and I like ripped through like 4 other pastries.
Yeah.
And the guys were like, let us try some. I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
great.
It's incredible. No, I think there's an interview that you and Alex, it's Alex, right? Alex did, and Alex was maybe saying something like, there should be a bakery in every neighborhood. There should be a bakery
100%.
in every neighborhood, because it's more than just, yes, we could sit here all day and talk about the texture and the this and this style and why this one maybe is slightly better and this, but at the end of the day, these are places that like create community, and these are places that like
100%.
we get to go and we get to celebrate and do things, and we need like more of that, you know,
Yeah.
especially now. And so
100%.
I'm all for more places
Yeah.
to if they can be a viable business, of course, to open up in communities so that more people have an opportunity to be in community with each other.
Yeah. And everybody does different things. Like,
Exactly.
you know, there's no harm in saying that somebody makes good food. Like,
Yeah.
she makes great croissants. They make great bread too. Like, and people ask me this. They're like, you know, but you think, you're like, yeah, okay, I like my bread. I love what we do. But I don't look at it as a competition.
Yeah.
I'm not in the Olympics trying to win a gold medal right
Yeah.
now. Like, I'm trying to build a business. I'm
Yeah.
trying to build a brand. Let the other guys do it too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to be the only. There's no way to be the only or the best, or like, you can't just operate like this.
Yeah.
Or else you're never going to grow. Like, if I came to Petit Grain Boulangerie with a closed mind and was like, oh, well, what we do is, then I wouldn't be able to grow as an individual and as a professional
sure.
too.
For
So,
sure.
yeah, it's important that people grow the industry, and bakeries in every neighborhood. There should be a bakery in every neighborhood.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's Paris Baguette or Lodge Bread or Clark Street or Jean Isaac. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
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 Obviously, we want to grow and we want to be in more markets.
For sure.
And, you know, hopefully at some point go out of state. I don't know. But, you know, there should be bakeries everywhere.
Yeah.
And restaurants at that, you know,
Yeah.
community-driven restaurants.
For sure.
And I think that's important. I think that sometimes we lose sight of that. Sometimes we forget that the customer, they are what pays our bills in the end. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, obviously it's a give take, but you know, and I tell my staff this too, like when we're dealing with customer service issues, right? I might have the signature on your paycheck, but they really sign your paycheck
Yeah.
by patronizing our restaurant and
Yeah,
by
yeah.
being here and spending their money and their time at our restaurant. So
Yeah, I think Arthur, your partner, said, you know, in a way, he's talking about the expansion of Culver City, which we'll get into in a minute. He said it's a way to give back to the community
Sure.
who embraced us and really held us up
absolutely.
during some difficult times. But before we kind of get into that, we're celebrating a big milestone.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years is big.
Yeah, 10 years is huge.
It's
It's
big,
crazy.
man.
It went by real quick. And I mean, we've been through a lot of changes, obviously, ups and downs, but it's awesome to see, where we are now. Obviously, like the origin and the origin story is great, how we started versus where we're at now. But like, yeah, like Arthur said, like our expansion in Culver City was perfectly timed to be able to give back to that community
Yeah.
because, that location got worked. Like it's our commissary as well. That's where we make all of our products. So, and my wife, God bless her, but she told me almost weekly, like, you gotta invest in Culver. You gotta fix the bathroom. You gotta do. We're working on it, and now it's a beautiful. And you
It's a good
come to
wife. It's a
Culver
good
too.
it's a good wife. She's
hundred
she's
percent.
not saying anything that,
He is totally right.
yeah.
And you come to Culver too. You've seen the change. Like the new
Yeah, yeah,
dining
yeah.
room is awesome, and we're still working on it. We're gonna get some greenery in there.
Yeah.
Um, but it's definitely kind of a way for us to enhance the experience for that. They are the first community that really embraced us in what we were doing, and we were psychopaths back then
Yeah.
when we first opened. I mean, like we were crazy. I mean, they really did embrace us when we started, and it was a wild ride. And 10
Yeah.
years later, looking back at us at it, I'm super grateful
Yeah,
for
I think in that thing that I read, Arthur was like the expanding of the flagship isn't just about more space, but it's about deepening the roots in this neighborhood, which I
yeah
think is super cool. Because again, I'm part of that neighborhood,
yeah yeah.
and I travel quite a bit, so I'm not there every week, but
We see you
but yeah, yeah,
frequently
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like a bad smell. You can't get
Yeah.
rid of me, Like I'm just popping up, in places. But like as you think about like the 10 years and the growth and the expansion, how do you decide? Because when you hit a milestone like that, it makes you reflect on the past, but it also makes you hopefully appreciate where you're at, but also look towards the future. And
Yeah.
so how do you decide what to keep exactly the same, and how do you decide what to evolve? Not just from a
Yeah.
product, as a business, as a
Yeah.
company, all of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that what evolves right now is how we operate the stores because we get more. I mean, we learn more as we grow with the people that we hire. Um, you know, that's one thing that is currently changing, right? Like
Yeah.
we're working very hard to better our customer experience. We're working very hard to make things more consistent, to make recipes consistent across the board and make sure that everything is made the same and not to take away from the product, but just so like the person that comes to our new Pasadena store when we open it is going to get the same turkey sandwich that the Culver City customer is going to get.
Mhm.
And it's the same experience. Because for me, I struggle with places that if I go somewhere, it's going to be if it's different in another location, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own thing, but for us, it's important
Yeah.
as a company. Um, what will stay the same is our ethos of we are a community driven
Mhm.
bakery. It's not going to look the same in Pasadena. We have a design team that's really good at looking at the local community and
Mhm.
seeing, how to really highlight that and different colors for Pasadena, different
Sure,
tiles,
sure.
different, different
It's
green.
a
Yeah,
different neighborhood.
exactly. And cater to that neighborhood. Um, you know, keeping the same how we train our staff to
Yeah.
treat, our customers, how we treat our staff, our employees. Doesn't matter if you just started with us or if you've been with us for 9 years, I'm going to
Mhm.
greet you the same way.
Mhm.
Making sure that they don't feel like they're on an island,
Mhm.
when they're opening a new location like that, we're there with them as well. Those things will stay the same. And as we grow, we'll do our best to maintain that, whether it's by hiring,
Mhm.
or promoting from within, which we like to do, more support staff for top level management so that
Mhm.
stores get the attention that they need. Um, Obviously the product will stay the same and if work on getting better
Mhm.
because we're constantly working on it. I mean, it's I don't physically bake as much, but I am involved every day
Yeah.
in the quality. I mean, like I said, I eat the product every day. I work with the bakery managers every day, Eric and Martine, and they're we're constantly working on the product. So
Yeah.
we haven't forgotten about that. It's
Yeah.
something that even after 10 years is very important to us. And I think it's what sets us definitely, in a different class when we talk about bakeries in general. Um, but those things will continue to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're excited about the growth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, as consumers and friends, we're excited about the growth as well because I think like LA needs more community driven places. And speaking of LA, like LA is many things. It's layered. It's fast paced. It's very diverse. It's also it's had and having some of its share of challenges, right now, like without a doubt. And we've spoken on this show with a number of people, kind of about it. But speaking from the lens of this milestone, if Lodge is a cultural pillar, which I believe it is, especially in this neighborhood, completely. What's the one thing about LA, its people, its food, its culture that you hoped you would shift because of your work, or you hope that you've put into culture because of your work?
I mean, LA is definitely resilient, right? Like we've gone through a lot over the years as a city, and I'm born and raised here. I've never, my whole life is Los Angeles. So we've gone through a lot. We've gone through changes. Obviously, like the core value of Los Angeles being a melting pot and a diverse community is still the same, and it's great, and we love that. And in Pasadena, it was very important to us. We signed that lease a few weeks before the fires broke out, and that area on Lincoln, it's right near the burn zone, right? And you know we had a decision to make when that happened. A lot of our community was taken out by the fire. Like they lost a lot. And we made an active collective decision as a company to be a part of the rebuild of that community. We did not want, and like some people might have left and might have said like, no, we're not going to risk it. But, I wouldn't be doing my best as an Angelino if I wasn't going to stick that out and make sure to be a part of that
Hmm.
community. Because people did message us. They're like, oh no, are you guys still going to be coming into Pasadena even after the fires? Because we're right on the Altadena Pasadena border.
Yeah,
And when you go to our location, like you could drive 2 minutes, up the street and you see a whole burn zone. We were, it wasn't even a quite like we brought it up and we discussed it, but it wasn't even a real tough decision for us to make.
yeah,
We're both Arthur and I are Angelinos.
yeah,
Um, so for us, it's very important to maintain that and continue to grow in Los Angeles in a responsible um, way, and to try and get our product to as many communities in LA as possible. I
yeah,
mean, we're trying to hit the South Bay, we're trying to hit more of the Valley and like the underserved communities in LA. Like
yeah,
you know, fingers crossed, we're trying to get another Valley location open soon, and we're looking at Westlake Village and places that people might not necessarily think to go, like
mm,
Thousand Oaks. Yeah. There's so many communities
there's
that
tons.
are, they need good food.
Yeah,
When we signed in Woodland Hills 8 years ago, everybody thought I was crazy, but I was like, what are you guys talking about? There's so many people
yeah,
out here.
yeah,
And it's our best, like one of our best. I mean, we only have three. It's our second best store. It's close to Culver City
yeah,
in sales. People love it. And it's
yeah,
1,000 square feet.
yeah,
It's tiny.
yeah,
Um, so we want to just continue to grow and do what we do, and serve our communities, and do our best to stay true to who we are as Angelinos and as individuals and as a collective.
yeah.
Yeah.
In as we continue to move into the future, what do you hope people say about what Lodge stood for in Los Angeles food culture?
Yeah. I think obviously quality is number one. The culture, the feeling when you come to a lodge, like we always want it to feel like almost like another version of home. You know, we never take it too seriously. Like we and I say this, and Arthur said this uh, first, but we take what we do seriously. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and it allows people to kind of like let loose when they come in and enjoy themselves. Like sometimes you see customers in line and like Grateful Dead's playing or whatever we might be playing, people are dancing in line or like having a good time. It's because we let ourselves have a good time, because it's not like you can't take everything so seriously in life. Like we do, obviously we take it seriously. We have a big responsibility on our shoulders. We're feeding people, we're taking care of people,
Yeah.
but we have to also be able to let loose and enjoy ourselves so that they can enjoy themselves as well. Because if you come into a place and it's cold and stiff and nobody's talking and there's no music playing, and maybe some people like that. We have some
I'm
people
thinking
that
of the Seinfeld "No Soup for You." You're going in
yeah,
and going.
being
I'll have the no soup, no soup
yeah,
for
you're
you.
scared to
You're
order, right?
scared.
We you can't have
Oh,
that.
I missed that show.
We have some people that complain, right? They
Yeah.
think our music's too loud, or and that's fine. It's
There's
not
always
for
there's
everybody.
always going to be
There's
that
always
though.
going to be that person, the people that complain, and God bless their souls. They can find the no soup for you.
Yeah.
But for us, it's important. Like I want it to feel like a party. Like you're coming out and you're enjoying yourself. You're coming to spend your money and your time. Like have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's big for me.
It's like I don't hear this as much in fast casual because obviously it's a different experience, but in fine dining, which I spend a lot of time in fine dining, the best of the best in the industry always say, "This is your house.
Mm-hmm.
Ha-
Yeah.
have a good time.
Yeah.
This is your this is. Can I help you with anything? This is your house."
Exactly.
Like,
Like
but that's what you're saying as well.
100%. I mean, yeah, because you're a customer needs to have a reason to come back
Yeah.
more than just the food.
Yeah.
It's not just about the food.
Mhm.
It's about, because if it was just about the food, everyone would just order on Uber Eats. A majority of our business is dine in.
Yeah.
It's because people enjoy coming to our restaurants.
Yeah.
People like spending time there with us. I want to be able to enjoy spending time there. Like
Mhm.
I like to post up and sit on my computer and work at the restaurants if I
Mhm.
can. Sometimes I get kicked out because I'm taking space, but that's okay.
Management's doing their
I'm not
job.
gonna blame.
Management's doing their job.
Yeah.
See how
I'll move my stuff out of the way, and I'll get sent back to my office.
Yeah.
But yeah, people have to be able to have a good enough reason to come, and we have many customers that come multiple times a week,
Yeah.
and that's how we do it, by letting loose a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't be so uptight. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. If you weren't constrained by time, capital, even gravity,
Hell yeah.
like what's the next maybe unexpected thing you'd do with Lodge?
With Lodge, I mean,
Yeah.
if there was no issue, I mean, I would take it out of state. Yeah, I'd love to see.
What's the state you would want to go to first?
Man, that's a tough question. I don't know. I really haven't thought too hard about that. I mean,
Let's
obviously,
get Pasadena open.
Let's get exactly. But if we were talking about like my dreams,
no, I know.
my dreams are to have this all over America.
Yeah.
I truly believe that Lodge bread could do well anywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're in New York or in Arkansas or wherever wherever the hell. I think that any community, granted there has to be people there, but I think that any community where we're at now could enjoy Lodge bread. And there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's at a price point too where we're not pricing people out.
Yeah.
And because like, look, you if you look at our menu, without the context, some of the items could look expensive, like some of the sandwiches, but they're fucking giant.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of people come and they'll split a sandwich.
Yeah.
A lot of people come and they'll split a salad.
Mhm.
We're not the type to give you a small sandwich. Like
Yeah.
our salami rosa sandwich, the focaccia, I can't even finish.
Gut luggage.
Yeah, I
call
can't
it.
even finish a
I
full one.
can't finish it.
Our nanny, she'll get a turkey pesto sandwich and she'll eat it for 2 days.
Yeah.
That's just how we
I've
that's
done
how we
that.
roll. I mean, we obviously are priced accordingly, but we do bring value.
Yeah,
And it's important to us to bring value to people in a time where it's very hard to find.
for sure.
Yeah, I
For
mean,
sure.
you struggle. A lot of places they have to hit, markers and numbers, and sometimes they can't offer the same, but we find a good balance.
Yeah. Or what's a life lesson you can leave us with?
Don't be scared to fail. And that's something that when we failed we failed several times. We had a commissary, we moved back to the commissary, back to Culver. I was always so scared to fail because it was end all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I learned so much. And when we opened Foolproof during COVID as like the New York slice shop, and that just didn't work, it taught me about, you know, what I think that concept should be. And it taught me a lesson on, finding the right location and the right time and the right iteration of you can't be scared to fail, or else you're never going to succeed. And who knows, like I'll fail 10 more times, but I'll succeed 20 more times after that. So that's the number one lesson that I learned from doing this, is like, if I'm too scared all the time, I'm never going to achieve my goals.